Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm not going to be that person that's like, this is the fourth time I've tried to film this today, but this is the fourth time I've tried to film this today, but I think this will be the best one because I just have worked through my technical difficulties and also I have notes, so I think I'll be able to be a little bit more clear about what I'm trying to talk about because it is something I'm so passionate about that I end up just kind of going from one thing to another because I'm excited. But I really want to be able to give you some good information in this video. So thank you for joining me. This is a different video than you would typically see on my channel because it's not a makeup video. But speaking of that, I feel like my lipstick is a little weird. Anyways, it's not a makeup video. It's about something that I'm just really excited and passionate about, and that is the Enneagram, or the Enneagram of personality. If I had to pick two things that have helped and improved my life the most in the past few years, it would be the law of attraction and the Enneagram. The law of attraction is definitely something else for a whole other video or series because it's something that has greatly impacted my life. But the Enneagram is something that I am so excited about, and I keep saying the same word over and over, passionate about, but I really am because it's really helped me. So first, I'm going to talk about why I love it, and then we'll delve into what it actually is. And before I get started, there's no way that I can possibly go over everything about the Enneagram in just one video. This is definitely just like an intro slash synopsis slash why I'm excited video because I've watched probably 100 videos. That was creepy. I've watched probably 100 videos on it, and I'm nowhere near an expert. But why I love it. I don't know why I love it or what it is. What is the Enneagram? The Enneagram of personality, or just simply the Enneagram, this is straight from Wikipedia, is also known as typology. It is the principle of 9 interconnected personality types. And I really like that it mentions that they're interconnected because no one can just fit in one perfect little box. I was going to mention this quote later on in this video, but my favorite quote about the Enneagram is that the Enneagram does not put you in a box. It shows you your box so that you can grow out of it. And that is just like mind-blowing to me, and it's really true. I have always loved personality tests. I've always loved kind of self-improvement stuff from even when I was like 12 or 13 and we first got the internet and I was on MySpace taking all those little quizzes or just taking personality tests. I've always really enjoyed them. Of course, the most like famous and well-known personality test would be the Myers-Briggs typology system. I've probably taken that test like 20 times and gotten a different result every single time because there's like 4 different factors that they test you on, and I've just never really found a way to apply it to my life. It just seems so complicated to me. The test always seems so complicated, and I'm always unsure about, is that what I really am? When I took the Enneagram test, the first one that I took, and I got my results, I was like, that is me. Like 100% that is me. And the more I learn about it, the more it has just helped me on kind of my journey of self-improvement. My favorite thing about the Enneagram is that it talks to you, all the different teachers of Enneagram that I've found and articles and Instagrams, etc. It's about your strengths and your weaknesses because it's great to be like, oh, this personality type is kind and confident and successful and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, just gassing you up, but how do you improve from that? The Enneagram shows you ways to improve yourself and relate better with others and have a stronger relationship. And that is life-changing for me. So there are 9 different types in the Enneagram, and they are, I'm just going to give you the names of them for now because obviously there's a lot that goes into it, but type 1 is known as the perfectionist. Type 2 is the helper or the giver. Type 3 is the achiever or performer. Type 4 is the individualist or romantic. Type 5 is the investigator or observer. Type 6 is the loyalist or the loyal skeptic. Type 7 is the enthusiast. Type 8 is the challenger slash protector. And type 9 is the peacemaker slash mediator. I hope you can't hear Ellie crying in the background. I did just put her down to sleep. She didn't nap today, so she's kind of cranky, so she's self-soothing. I promise I'm not torturing her. She's going to bed and I'm watching her on the monitor over here on my other phone. So I am a type 2, which is the helper / giver. And one thing I will say is what's funny is something I have seen. They say type 2s after they take the test. They're like, am I sure that's what I am? And read all the different types, which I'm pretty sure everyone reads about all the different types after they take the test. But I really, really wanted to be a different type. I really wanted to be a type 4, which I do think I have some kind of characteristics of, but you can be a type 2 and still be super romantic. You can be a type 7 and still be a perfectionist. But there is one type that you definitely relate to the most. And another interesting thing about the Enneagram is if you see the diagram of it, let me see if I can pull that up. Yes, I have multiple phones. I have my work phone and my regular phone, and keeping an eye on Ellie on one. So the Enneagram is a like 9-pointed star, and it usually has arrows from like one to the other. And when you're in stress or not at your best, you can kind of go lean towards an opposite type. And when you're at your best and kind of in growth, you can go to a different type as well. So that's really interesting. It's not just this is who you are and this is who you're always going to be. It's not about wanting to change yourself, but it is about wanting to grow. There is something really satisfying about reading something and being like, I relate to every single thing on that. But there's also something really beautiful about having your weaknesses pointing out to you and saying, yeah, those really are my weaknesses, so that you can work on them. One thing that I've always found kind of not counterintuitive, but not the most helpful about like astrology. I do think astrology is interesting. I don't always think it's super accurate. I read stuff about Cancer or about Aquarius or whatever, and I'm like, that applies to me, which you can also do that with all the Enneagram types, but there are also truly types that I'm like, that is not me at all. Like type 5 and type 7. I'm like, those are not me at all. But with astrology, I sometimes, and this is kind of a stereotype, please don't hate me for saying this, but I feel like sometimes people kind of use it as like an excuse for their personality. Like, oh, that's just the Cancer in me coming out. That's just the Capricorn in me coming out. And the Enneagram, I feel like that is definitely not the goal. And for a lot of people, I'm sure that's not the goal of astrology, but I have found that to sometimes be true. And you could easily be like, oh, I'm just being a type 2 today. But I feel like everything I see about the Enneagram is really focused towards self-reflection and growth. The Enneagram has helped me in my relationships so much. I discovered the Enneagram a few months into my relationship with my partner, Robert, and it was like mind-blowing to us how accurate it is, and how even when you find things about, so I'm a 2, he's a 5, articles and things about 2s in a relationship with 5, kind of our struggles and our strengths were all really accurate. And it has helped us not just understand each other, because it's one thing to understand the other person and say, okay, well, that's just who they are, but how we can work together and kind of acknowledge those needs, because the Enneagram is all about your core desires, and it's really helped us just be better partners to each other. I would say as far as relationships, the Enneagram, oh, poor Ellie, the Enneagram and the love languages are probably the 2 most like beneficial things for growth in your relationship. So my favorite Instagrams and podcasts about the Enneagram are Just My Enneatype, and I will put all these down below. Enneagram and Coffee, and there's a girl named Abby Rue. And then my favorite podcast about the Enneagram is the Typology podcast by Ian Morgan Crone. He also has an Enneagram test that I've taken. That one actually costs money, but it was totally worth it for me. He sent me like a 5-page PDF, personalized to me. It also let me know my subtype and my wing, which, very brief synopsis on wings. I'm a type 2, so your wing is which type that borders your type that you most relate to, because the formation of the Enneagram is really strategic. It's not just, oh, they decided to name type 2 because that was the second one they thought of. It's really strategic. So It let me know what my wing was. It could either be a 1 or a 3. And that was really helpful to me. And there's also something called, why can't I remember this? There's 3 different types of each type. You either have your instincts, self-preservation, one-to-one, which is like sexual, or social. So I am a self-preservation type 2, which is really interesting. And all of this is like really, when you start diving into it, it just gets deeper and deeper and more specific to you and more helpful to you. So if you are like me and you're always trying to improve yourself, you are interested in personality type, stuff like that, this has helped me at work. This has helped me in my relationship. This has helped me in my relationship with myself. It's helped me as a mother kind of recognize my strengths and weaknesses and how I can improve myself. So this is very, very much just the basics. If this is something you're interested in and you want me to talk more about, please leave me a comment down below and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and content outside of makeup and stuff like that on my channel, which that's never been the goal of my channel, to be just a makeup channel. I think on my channel header it says like life, love, and other randomness. That's truly what this channel is about. So I really, really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I have put a lot of thought and preparation into it, and I would love to talk about the Enneagram more. I'm getting out of breath and I'm losing natural light, but I really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a great day.